Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Breaking now in Western Maryland, law enforcement is back out in Williamsport area conducting searches where Pedro Argote's car was found. Argote was accused of killing Judge Wilkinson last week in front of his home. They say that they're doing an evidentiary search. Over the weekend, his SUV was found in a wooded area off of a Bottom Road. They say that there's no safety concern. And joining us now is DC News Now's Stephen Cohen, and he's on the phone as he's watching all of this unfold. Stephen, what can you tell us?
Well, you're right, Mark. It was about 90 minutes ago, a uniformed search party of about a dozen Maryland State troopers climbed a hill of very heavy brush off of Bottom Road here in Williamsport. As you said, the Sheriff's Department tells us this is an evidentiary search. But it was here, as you explained, where Pedro Argote's silver Mercedes, his SUV, was discovered on Saturday, and there was an intensive search right after that. It's an area that law enforcement suspected he might be, but he remains at large. Now, Bottom Road flanks the Potomac River along the C&O Canal. It's heavily wooded. It's very popular with deer hunters, and it was on Saturday that a deer hunter alerted law enforcement that they had discovered Argote's car. There is a quarry at the end of the road, so you constantly see dump trucks coming and going, but today the dump trucks we see must be taking an alternate route. Now, about 45 minutes ago, another team of 24 state troopers arrived to join the search party, and about 30 minutes ago, a third team of about a dozen state troopers arrived, and then around then I saw a Maryland state trooper escorting a search dog. So we'll remain on the scene. Meanwhile, this afternoon in Hagerstown, the family of Judge Wilkinson, who police suspect Argote, as you said, fatally shot in the driveway of the judge's home last Wednesday night, will receive visitors at the Fiery Funeral Home in Hagerstown, and then funeral services are scheduled for tomorrow in Hagerstown as well. For now, though, Mark, reporting live from Williamsport, Maryland, Stephen Cohen, DC News Now. Back to you.
Stephen, I'd like to ask you a question. You'd mentioned earlier that teams of law enforcement officials continued to show up. Do you have a sense now that maybe this evidentiary search that you described is winding down, or are things still pretty much intense on scene?
I do not have any sense that it is winding down. As I explained, reinforcements came in about 45 minutes ago. The scene has been quiet from the observation area where I am, so I have to assume that the search team is still brushing through that heavily wooded area, and we'll remain here to see if there may be any developments.
All right, Stephen Cohen, live near Williamsport. Thank you very much for that. The search for Argote continues, and officials believe that he is armed and dangerous. The U.S. Marshals Service says that he has ties to New York, Florida, Indiana, and North Carolina, and there's a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to his arrest. Also breaking this hour, the search for a possible gunman in Northwest D.C. Coolidge High School is on lockdown right now. It's taking place in the area right around Coolidge High at 5th Street Northwest near Tuckerman. People told police that they heard gunfire. DC News Now's Leonard N. Fleming is there. Leonard, bring us up to speed.
Mark, well, they just reopened the high school that's behind me, Coolidge High School here. They just reopened in the last 15 to 20 minutes after it had been on lockdown for about 2.5 hours. Here's what we know. Shots were fired in a nearby alley here about 1.5 blocks away, fired in the air. Police gave chase, did not catch the gunman, but they put this high school on lockdown because of all the gun violence that happens in this area and around D.C., as we know. D.C. Councilwoman Janice Lewis George, I spoke to her earlier, and here she is talking to us about this situation and how kids in the school were feeling about the gunshots.
They're in good spirits. Most of them, they were just like, man, we keep having gun violence in our community, and it's just scary. And he was like, my mom keeps calling me, my family's calling, my mom's on the phone, she crying, I'm telling her calm down. Obviously, if you're a parent right now, you're terrified. Any notion of gun violence near your children and near their school is scary.
And ultimately, at this point in time, some of the parents have come and gotten their kids. Some kids have left. Some kids have gone back into school. And Councilwoman George said to me that she ended up buying some pizzas for the students because of the situation today. Reporting in Northwest D.C., Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
All right, Leonard, thank you very much. Happening soon, the Metropolitan Police Department is planning to release body camera footage from a deadly officer-involved shooting. That shooting happened near Gainesville Street and Alabama Avenue in Southeast on October 19th. Police originally arrived to find the suspect and two women fighting. The suspect took off and started shooting at police, hitting one officer. Well, police fired back and hit the suspect several times. He later died at a hospital. The police officer who was injured will be okay. We'll have much more on this story coming up on DC News Now at 4. Well, police are investigating a deadly crash that happened on Brentwood Road in Northeast D.C. early this morning. DC News Now's Lex Juarez has the latest on the investigation and where the cleanup efforts stand.
A teenage girl is dead and another in police custody after two cars that had been stolen crashed right here on Brentwood Road Northeast. Well, the cars crashed just before 2 in the morning. The car that hit the power pole flipped over and then caught on fire. DC Fire and EMS were able to put the vehicle out, and that's when they found a dead teenager in the car. Now, that girl, one of two girls found on scene. The other girl was arrested and taken into police custody. One of the cars was stolen from Prince George's County. The other stolen from Southeast D.C. Police are still working to figure out the circumstances surrounding those carjackings. They're also working to find out if there was anyone else involved. Now, because none of the power lines broke when the crash happened, it's not going to take too much for them to replace that power pole, but the power will have to be shut off. It'll be shut off for 3 or 4 hours this afternoon as they move the power lines from the old pole onto the new pole. In Brentwood, Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
All right, Lex, thank you. Carjackings across the DMV are up this year. In D.C. alone, just under 5,800 vehicles have been stolen this year. That's up 101% from last year. Meteorologist Damon Madsen joins us now with the latest check in the forecast. Damon, another nice day in the region. No complaints from me, my friend.
There we go. We love to hear that, and a lot of folks are probably enjoying this warmer weather that is locked in. Folks, the 80s, they're here to stay for at least a few more days. Now, of course, that's just during the early and late afternoon hours. We see that peak of the warmth. This morning, it cooled off decently enough across portions of the region. Martinsburg did drop to 39. D.C., though, stayed very mild at 55 degrees. And then we had plenty of other locations staying in the 40s as we kicked off the day today. But with another round of very sunny skies, only a few clouds spotted here and there, we have jumped very quickly into the 70s. Lexington Park is already nearing 80 degrees in southern Maryland, and we do still have some slightly cooler air to the north, 60s for Cumberland and Hagerstown at this point. But moving along this afternoon, what we saw yesterday is what we're going to get more of today. We're going to have those temperatures jumping up into the upper 70s. More of us should reach that 80-degree mark by 3 to 4 o'clock this afternoon. So it's just going to turn out to be a downright beautiful and warm day. Now, as we roll into Friday and Saturday, could we be talking about potential records being set with these warm temperatures? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damien, thank you. The search continues for the man who killed at least 18 people at a restaurant and bowling alley in Lewiston, Maine. Police are looking for 40-year-old Robert Card as a person of interest in the attack. Card is described as a firearms instructor believed to be in the Army Reserve and assigned to a training facility in Maine. At least 13 other people were injured in the shooting. The shooting is the state's second largest city and the 36th mass killing in the country this year, and that's according to the Associated Press.
There's still many things we don't yet know about these attacks, but the full weight of my administration is behind law enforcement's efforts to capture the person of interest, Robert Card, to hold whoever is responsible for this atrocity accountable under the full force of state and federal law. and to seek full justice for the victims and their families.
And stay with DC News now as this story develops, and we will bring you the latest on air and online. Just type Maine in the search bar at the top right corner of your screen. Well, DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and the Virginia initiative encouraging Republicans to vote early appears to be working. Governor Glenn Youngkin and state Republicans launched the Secure Your Vote initiative back in July. And according to the Virginia Public Access Project, Republicans accounted for almost 40% of in-person early voting as of Sunday. That is an increase of 8% from the last state election cycle. The analysis does need to estimate a voter's party since Virginia voters do not register by political party.
I think you have to say that his Secure Your Vote initiative is at least a mild success, right? I think the evaluation of whether it's a success or not will decide in November, right, when we see exactly how much of an effect it had on turnout.
The last day of in-person early voting in Virginia is November 4th. The deadline to request an absentee ballot by mail through your local election office is tomorrow by 5 p.m. Well, heads up, Virginia voters, tomorrow is your last day to request an absentee ballot by mail for November's general election. Your mail-in request for an absentee ballot must be received by your local election office again tomorrow evening by 5. And if you're voting absentee, the deadline to submit those ballots is Tuesday, November 7th by 7 p.m. And happening today, the Arts Fairfax Awards are celebrating local artists and arts organizations. It's an annual event for arts and culture throughout Fairfax County and its cities. Proceeds help support local arts, and the event serves more than 200 arts and cultural nonprofits. It's being held at Capital One Hall in Tyson until 2 p.m.